And today our special guest is Women's Grandmaster Begim Tokhirjonova. Begim is going to be talking to us about positional attack today. Huge welcome. And I should also point out she's a women's grandmaster. She's won medals. She's represented Uzbekistan all over the world. Now she's representing the United States. Very fortunate to have her here. And we're going to have time for a couple things today. She's going to speak to us, and then we're going to have some time for some questions in the end. So stay tuned for all of that. Begim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to see them all.
Yeah, it is so great. We have girls from all over the country here.
Yeah.
So before you get started, Begim, do you want to talk to us a little bit about how you ended up going to Mizzou and just playing chess in Uzbekistan and now playing for the United States? Just a little bit about your background.
Okay, so I came to Mizzou because my coach, Christian Trilla, texted me on Facebook Messenger, I guess, about the opportunity, and he told me, if you're interested, then we can talk further about that. And I was like, I felt that's an amazing opportunity to study and play chess as well, because usually chess players stick with chess all the time and they don't have really time or opportunity to study, because once you start your school, it's hard to keep up with chess. And when I found out that I can play chess and train regularly and study as well, I just wanted to take the opportunity, and that's how I ended up at Mizzou, which is great actually. I love my team, and the university is amazing.
Yeah, you have a really strong chess team there. And what are you studying at Mizzou?
I'm majoring in business, and my emphasis is marketing.
Amazing. And so talk to us about Uzbekistan versus the United States. Mizzou is in Columbia, Missouri, Juliet. But talk to us about you played for Uzbekistan and now you play for the United States.
Yeah, well, I used to play for Uzbekistan, and I was #1 female player in my country. And because of some personal issues with my federation, I decided to change my federation to the US. So I decided to change the US because I have been living here for more than 2 years. And then because of pandemic, I wasn't able to travel anywhere. So I said, okay, now I'm here, so I have an opportunity to play actually for the US. And that's how I end up changing my federation. And soon I'm gonna play my first US Women's National Championship. I'm very excited and kind of nervous about that, because it's gonna be my first, first tournament, national tournament as a US chess player. So.
Yes, that's going to be amazing. And that's going to be actually in St. Louis, so near your neck of the woods. So to get into the main course of the menu today, you are going to be showing us a really amazing game. But before that, I did want to quiz the guys on the young ladies, that is, on a little bit about Uzbekistan.
It's actually a very tough question, because I found out that in the US, many people don't know about Central Asia or Asia that much.
So why do you think, Begim, that people learn so little about Central Asia in the United States?
I was surprised about it too, because in my country, we usually, at school, we learn about global geography. But here I just found out that some of my friends, because of some friends, I found out that you guys learn about Europe a lot, and you can travel during, as I remember, during your high school year. Just choose one place and just go there, like Paris or Spain. I think maybe that's the reason. I don't know. I was a little bit surprised about that. Young generation, they really don't know about my country.
Interesting. It does. But have you been, so you were surprised to learn that so many people in Mizzou hadn't learned about Central Asia?
Yeah.
And what do you feel like you want them to know about it?
I think my country is very beautiful, and we have a very, very rich story, history. And our people are nice, but I would love people just to go to our like country and see some historical cities, and they can actually learn about history and try our food and fruits because they are very delicious.
What's the best food?
It's called pilaf. It's very national food with rice, some like meat and carrots, all this stuff, but it's very delicious.
Oh
I
my
would
God,
recommend everyone to try that.
what's it called again? Can you say one more time?
Pilaf. It's
Pilaf. Sounds really good. We say pilaf we have that in United States too, but I think it means something else.
It's kind of, it might be similar, but we have Turkish pilaf and then Iran, like Iranian pilaf or something. Persian, right? Persian pilaf. So they are different. In Uzbek language, it's actually called osh. So in
It's
English,
called
it's what? Osh, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so how'd they do, by the way? Begim, they 15 people said Tashkent, 4 said Uzbek City, 7 said Astana, and 1 said Moscow.
That's actually, you know, that's good. I didn't expect that 15 people is gonna find it. And Astana is, yeah, it's easy to like confuse it because Astana is in Kazakhstan, which is literally near to my country. We are neighbors, so it does make sense that they just mixed it up or something. And Uzbek City doesn't exist, and Moscow is in Russia. It's a little bit further, but still close. So 15 people are right.
Very good. Very good to everybody who got it right. Excellent. By the way, normally we do questions at the end of the class, but if you have any questions about Uzbekistan, maybe we can take one now, just because I know that some people have to leave a little early. The correct answer was Tashkent, Sarah. Is that where you're from, by the way, Begim? Where do you live?
No, I originally from Fergana region, which is like 4 hours drive from Tashkent, but my family moved to Tashkent when I was 8 years old, so I just grew up in Tashkent. Literally, I can say that I am from Tashkent, maybe, I don't know.
Nice. And let's move on. Oh, before we move on, just last week or 2 weeks ago, I saw that you had an incredible chess event in Tashkent, and you had a visit by none other than Judith Polgar, who is the amazing top female player of all time. We had her visit our girls club once as well.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience, actually. I have a chess school, like my family has a chess school back to Uzbekistan. So we organized a tournament with mass media, and we decided to have a huge festival for children and for girls too. So we invited Judith Polgar, and she was kind to accept our invitation. And it was an amazing opportunity for young players, especially for young girls, to see her, because she's such an inspiration. She has amazing energy, and as a person, she's so nice, and over the board, she's like a killer. You know, she's just an amazing person and just player. So everyone was very excited and happy to see her in our country.
I bet. Oh, we have one question. Do you speak Russian? What languages do you speak?
I speak Uzbek and Russian, English, Turkish as well, because Turkish is very close to my native language, which is Uzbek. So I do speak Turkish too.
That's amazing. Speaking 4 languages, fantastic. All right, well, let's get into the game because we've got a great game for us to look at today. Can you tell us why you picked this game and start sharing your screen?
Yeah, actually, I picked this game because I love it. I love the idea of like, can you guys see my screen now?
I can now.
What about others?
Yeah, give a thumbs up if you can see your screen. Yep, everyone can see it. Excellent. Oh, by the way, she's playing Eugene Torre in this game. So I'm just gonna put up a little question about Eugene Torre. By the way, you know, this is a bit confusing because there's another Torre, famous chess player, the one that, you know, some of you might know the chess opening, the Torre attack. This is actually a different Torre. And it's even more confusing because Torre or Torre is in Spanish means what?
Rook.
Yes, exactly. So it's so a lot of people would probably guess like Spain or something because La Torre is the rook in Spanish.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So kind of confusing. But
you know, I do understand why I didn't know about him much because he's kind of older than even the new generation, like even Magnus or like Ryakin, they are kind of like considered young, but still some people like for the girls, they are still, you know, role models, and then older generation. But for me, Torre is special because he's from Philippines, and he was the first Asian grandmaster, if I'm not mistaken, ever. And then he has amazing achievements. Although he's older, he plays amazing chess. I loved his style, and he's a legend in Asia. Like, I know the world knows him, but for this, maybe he's someone unfamiliar, let's say. But for me, I just knew him. I saw his results, and I was very excited to play with him. That was one of the main reasons why I chose this game, because he is kind of like he's a legend, and it was just a huge pleasure to play with him. And I didn't expect that I'm gonna beat him, to be honest, at that point. And I played such a good game. That's why I still love it, and it's one of my favorite games.
Great. Oh, what was the correct answer, Sonia? The correct answer was the Philippines. So good job to everybody who got that right. But it was a little confusing because that other Grandmaster, Carlos Torre, that I mentioned was from Mexico. And he was the one that the Torre Opening was named after. So if you got it wrong, you know, it was a tough question. So let's move in and dig into this game, which is, I think, a favorite of many of the players in this class. My favorite opening for sure.
I play e4. It's my main move, and I really love the openings after e4. They are like rich and a lot of fights, so I prefer e4. But like, I sometimes do play d4 and knight f3, but my main move is e4. So I decided to play for with him too, and he played c5, knight f3, knight c6, d4. I hope everyone knows the name of this opening: knight f6, knight c3, and d6. I played bishop c4, which is the main move here.
Okay, and I want to ask one question to them after this move. So it's called the classical Sicilian, also sometimes known as the Four Knights. So after Begim plays bishop c4, I wanted to ask the question, what's the best move if her opponent played the move g6? So if you can put that on the board.
G6.
Yeah, he didn't play that. He played queen b6, right? Yeah. All right, we see a bunch of answers. Keep guessing. It seems like only 12 out of 35 of you have guessed. So let's get a few more answers before we move on. We'll give you like another 30 seconds. Oh my God, look, Begim, every single answer has the same number of votes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I've never seen that in my class. It's a tie, a 6-way tie.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let me ask somebody want to unmute themselves and tell us why you played your move? This is just kind of important little tactical idea that I like people to know about. Hannah?
I said knight takes c6, and then after b takes c6, you play e5. And then if he takes on e5, then you take his queen, and he loses his ability to castle.
Very, very close to the right answer. Very close. Do you want to show them, Begim, what would be even better than what Hannah mentioned?
Well, I was thinking the same way. Why you're saying to make it better? It totally works.
What's that?
I mean, her line totally works.
Oh, no, she said queen takes queen at the end.
Really? No, she said
I think
bishop takes.
maybe I misheard her.
No.
I thought she said
bishop takes and queen takes.
I didn't hear that. Is that what you said, Hannah?
No, I think I said queen takes originally, but now I see you'd want to play bishop takes f7.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, she
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was so happy that she found it.
I know, right?
Probably I didn't hear till the end. I didn't expect her to miss this move. Okay, we're gonna take it first, and then king f7 and queen d8. And they're winning the queen. That's why they're not, of course, forced to take the pawn on e5. They can play like knight d7 or knight g4, but the position is very bad for black already. After knight g4, oh, I'm sorry. It's not letting me play again, but you guys can see already that the position is very, very bad for black. That's why g6 is not the way to go. And he played queen b6. The main line is actually e6. So they're kind of like preventing any ideas with bishop f7, and they want to put bishop e7, castles, a6, and it's going to be just a normal game. But he wanted to play something rare at that moment. It wasn't that very popular, I guess, and he kind of wanted to see if I remember the lines, because it's not the main move. So I had to be precise here. I played knight b3. The idea is I'm protecting my b2 pawn after knight b3 from like queen's attack. And then I want to play bishop e3 at some point. I have this idea with bishop e3. So I'm protecting b2 pawn, and then like queen not take it. I'm threatening to play bishop e3. That's why I really like this move. And like I'm protecting my knight from attack too. So knight b3 is the main line after queen b6. a6. Black wants to play bishop e7, bishop d7, castles, and then at some point they need to get back with the queen, but still they're trying to get the main position, which was like after e6, bishop e3, bishop e7, queen e2, and that's how the game would continue. After long castle, it's kind of like black should try to attack bishop d7, rook c8 is an option, and then try to play b5, b4. That's their plan. For white, I have to try to play g4, g5, and then f4, maybe h4, or maybe I try to like I can try to exchange some pieces and play for d pawn, but kind of it's still equal position, and it depends on how we are gonna play this position. So this could happen, but he chose to play queen b6, knight b3, then e6, but still he's trying to get that sort of position. I castled, bishop a6, yeah, a6 was played, and here, what would you play as white?
So somebody says bishop e3.
Bishop e3, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Any other options? Any other ideas?
Any other suggestions, guys? Let's see. King h1.
Okay. Good. Was actually reasonable. I actually did I made another move, bishop d3, which is like, it's kind of like hard to explain why I didn't play bishop e3, because it's with tempo, all this stuff, but Black's main idea is to play, anyways, to play queen c7 and play b5. And they're gonna win kind of like some tempos to play queen c7 and b5 if I like forced to do them. Maybe I don't want to put my bishop on e3, but Black for sure they want to put their queen back to c7 and b5. With going back with the bishop, like bishop d3, I'm kind of already taking away his tempo with b5 move after they go back queen c7, and I'm protecting my e4 pawn. Maybe then I can jump on d5 or a4, who knows, right? But the main idea is to protect my bishop after b5, so they don't have this tempo. And then if they immediately go, he played queen c7, then I played a4, and that's the difference. If they immediately go back with queen c7, I don't have to play bishop e3 anymore. I can choose to do anything else, and which I did a4 because I don't want him to play b5, because after b5 their position is very active and they have an opportunity to put bishop b7 and then maybe b4, and they are kind of Black's idea will be to attack e4 pawn at some point, d5. That's why I played a4. They played b6, f4. It's a standard idea. I want to just attack Black's center with b5 or f5. It depends on the situation, or maybe I want to play g4, g5, and after the castle and attack the king. So that's the plan. He played bishop e7, bishop e3, castle. And we got the position where Black kind of already put their pieces. They need to just decided to play like maybe bishop b7 or bishop d7. But they kind of like trying to figure that out. But for white, it's time to think what to do with their pieces and find a plan, right? So how would you play and how would you put your pieces? It's not a tactic or it's not just one move. I just want to hear some ideas of, shuffling some pieces.
So anybody want to unmute themselves to answer Begim's question? You can raise your Zoom hand. If not, you can also write it in the chat. Esha, what do you say?
Maybe knight d2 and then knight f3.
Okay. Hannah, did you want to, is your hand up, Hannah? No, I don't, maybe that's from earlier. Bishop e3, knight to f3. Liliana says knight to e2. Any other ideas? Queen e1, knight e2. We're getting queen e1 and knight e2.
Okay. Is there any more idea?
Knight d2.
Maybe.
E5 at some point to open up the d3 bishop.
I just I would
Rook
like
F3.
to hear all of them, like all suggestions, because while you play, you have to choose something. That's the point, that you have to make a decision, because from your like moves depends the game, actually, how it goes. You can maybe try to attack on the like queen side or king side, or shuffle your piece somewhere. It's very important to choose here. So I would like to hear, if it's possible, everyone's opinion. It doesn't matter. There is no right or wrong decision. I just made the decision that I thought was right, that I thought that I would like to see on the board.
We got rook f3, rook e1, and f5. Most people are giving single moves, though, not trying to give a plan.
Yeah.
And I think you were more looking for a plan, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for like at least some explanation. You guys can speak up if you don't feel comfortable with like with that, you can type some like not moves, but ideas. How would you continue the game? Like, what would you do? Like, you literally can say that I would try to put my pieces like back to the center, or just want to play something from the king side so I can attack, or something from queen side so I can do something, you know?
Love it. Yes. Well, we got some better answers now after that explanation. Good job. Michelle says rook f3 to rook g3, queen e1, and attack on the king side. Liliana says queen e1 and queen h4, also looking to attack. Something to weaken black's queen side or b3 pawn. Laurel says open the center, activate the bishops, and lift the rook, then attack on the king side.
Amazing. Thank you very much for the answers. I love them. So actually, someone said rook f3 and rook g3, right?
We got a new couple of ideas. Sorry.
Okay.
Kaylin and Hannah both said something similar. Like, I would move my pieces to the inside, then break through with g4. And also, Kaylin said something about removing the knight from f6 so your queen can come to g4 or h5. So I love the way you're thinking.
So majority like wants to attack, right? They want to attack.
Yeah.
Rook f3, rook g3, queen e1. I love this idea too. Queen e1, queen h4 is an amazing idea, and it does make sense. Like, it's amazing. And rook f3, rook g3 is a good one too. I like it too. But the problem is that our queen is not playing yet. To attack, if you want to attack, you need to have all of your pieces. But first of all, if you have a queen, you should go with the queen. That's why I would like to see queen e1, queen h4, then maybe rook f3, rook g3. And e5 or breaking the center is a little bit early for us, and it's not our main idea, I guess, now, because we cannot really do anything about like the center, because they are protecting it. So it's well protected for now with the black pieces, so we cannot really play. And knight e2, knight e2 is a good idea. Like, we are trying to put our knight to g3 and h5 so we can get rid of this this knight, but it's kind of long, I guess. If I'm gonna take my control from the center, they can maybe play d5, then e5, or e5, then d5. So I need to still control the center. That's why our knight is staying here very well for now. But someone said knight c1, knight e2, right? That's a good idea too. I like it because our knight is not doing anything here. Maybe knight d4 also makes sense. But for now, I chose to play queen f3. And someone said g4. I was considering this move during the game too, but I wasn't sure what I would do after d5, e5, knight e7. Knight e7. Of course, it's very playable position. I could just play g5 and attack, but once I got that position in my mind, I wasn't sure what to do after g6. I felt like black's on time. They're trying to put knight c5, knight e4, or like develop the pieces and try to attack the center. And I felt like I'm not in time to push my like h4, h5, push my piece to king side. I thought it takes a lot of time. So I didn't want to show my idea immediately. That's why I chose to play queen f3 first. It's very similar to queen e1 I like idea, but the difference is that I'm kind of controlling d5 move too. I'm not giving them immediately play this move because in this kind of structures, like if black has this kind of structure, they always try to play d5. Their main idea is to play d5 or b5. After they play b5 or d5, it's considered as like equal and good for black. They have some counterplay. That's why I decided to put queen f3. So I have like additional control of the d5 square. That was the idea. but other moves are good too. So he played bishop b7. He's still trying to push d5 by that. And how would you play? Again, it's like just a one move question, but after we decided that we are trying to attack, how would you play here?
H4 says Violet.
Okay.
Oh, that move
Um,
was from earlier when like she was showing the position with the pawn on g5, and she was saying.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I saw now. G4 said Hannah.
Okay.
Queen G3 says Tanya.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Both actually good suggestions. I played Queen G3 because I like to put, queen in front of the king. You just want to have it if it's possible. And I thought, why not? I want to attack, so I have to put my pieces. And one point that I forgot to mention, actually, why I chose to attack, not to play from queen side or the center, is that because of my bishops too. They're kind of like ready to attack, and my pawn is going, my rook is going too. That's why I thought that attacking would be better choice. And then here after queen g3, black played king h8. Knight b4 was the possible move too. And actually, after some moves, we are getting almost a similar position. So, but he just decided to put king h8 first. He didn't want to have any ideas with e5, f5 moves, I guess that's why. So how would you continue? I just wanted you guys to find white moves.
So what would you guys do here for white? F5 says Tanisha.
I love it. Yeah, f5 is a good move.
Any other suggestions? Queen h3 or queen h4?
Well, we just moved our queen. We are fine. What about our other pieces?
Rook f3 and then rook a f1 says Hannah.
That's a good idea, because if we want to attack, we should attack with our all pieces possible, right?
Exactly. Great. Rook 81 says Liliana.
We're close. We're getting there.
Close. She says, Liliana, you're warm. Sarah says 92, but no, she said she was warm about rook d1. So what do you remember earlier? Some of you guys wanted to play. Yes, there it is, Violet, rook e1.
Okay,
I assume you went rook on a to e1. Yeah.
Yeah. Rook e1. The knight d2 is the idea actually, but we're preparing it. If you look at the position, we kind of like put our pieces, all our pieces, like bishop is fine, knight is kind of fine, but we have two pieces which are not working. It's our knight on b3 and rook on e1. So we have to do something about the pieces. If we improve our pieces, it means that we are slowly preparing our attack, and then we are getting rid of the pieces that weren't working. So after rook e1, rook is doing something already. Rook is protecting e4, and rook will support my move e5 if it's necessary. That's why we're putting our rook on e1. He played knight b4. Black wants to get rid of at least this bishop, because without a white square bishop, it's kind of like hard to attack. It's considered that if I don't have a white squared bishop, it will be kind of like harder to attack. So knight b4 does make a lot of sense. And besides that, they want to play d5 as well, which is their main idea. So knight b4 is the good move for black. I played bishop d4. I just want to have my bishop looking to g7 square, and my bishop is here to h7, and it looks good. And I'm preparing e5, and I'm opening my rook actually too. It's just an improvement, and I'm trying to prepare my attack again. So black played takes, and queen d8. Actually, I like this move for black because it's kind of like, it might seem that it's a very passive move, but the idea is to kind of protect f6 square, and then maybe he wanted to push e5 or d5 at some point. If d5, then for example, if I'm gonna tag, then black can tag with the bishop, knight d5, and they actually can tag queen d5, and my b3 and d4 pieces are hanging there already. So his main idea, I think, was that. And here I played knight d2 finally, because it was time to get my knight to the queen side, king side. And he played rook g8. I thought his idea was to kind of like prepare knight d7 or knight e8 and bishop f6, try to exchange these bishops, because white's bishop on d4 is very strong, and then play g5 maybe, if it's possible. So I continued playing knight f3. Well, what would you play with black here if you were black? Which moves would you consider?
What would you do as black here?
I just want you to feel the position, because it's not actually easy to play with black at this point, because I'm coming and black doesn't have really any ideas here, right?
So what do you think, guys? Any plans for black? Knight h5 or knight d, says Tanisha. Knight d7 says Hannah.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, these are the moves. Like knight h5 doesn't make a lot of sense because knight is hanging and we cannot protect with g6. If I'm gonna go queen g4 or something, you guys have to go back. That's why it doesn't make a lot of sense to play that. But he played knight d7. He wants to still play bishop f6 to exchange the bishops, or if I play after bishop f6, if I play e5, then black's goal is to close my bishop. So what should I do here? What would you play with white? I know maybe it's a lot of like questions for the lesson, but I really want you to think and just to try to feel the position.
What would you guys do here as white? Let's see. Now white, Tanya. I think you got that from earlier. That was an earlier question. Good. Knight g5 says Hannah. And Michelle says bring the knight to h6, e5 or f5, says Kaylin. Carissa says knight g5. Sonia says knight g5.
I love it. Yeah, like many people found the move, but whoever said f5, as I mentioned earlier, they want to close our bishop, so they would immediately play e5. If we play e5, then they would play d5, and again, my bishop is not working. So our goal is to keep this bishop or create some weaknesses. That's why I played knight e5. Good job who found the move, because it's the moment. If I'm going to give just one tempo for black to play, then they're totally fine. So I just want to create some problems for them, which won't be easy to solve. So they took on g5. And how would you play here? You guys have two options. You can take with the queen, you can take with the pawn.
Why do you give a heart if you would take with the queen and a thumbs up if you take with the pawn? We got a lot of thumbs up so far. We've got 3 thumbs up and 1 heart.
Amazing.
6 thumbs, 7 thumbs up, 2 hearts. Give him another few
Okay.
seconds.
I'm checking the answers,
Everybody
so-
switched this thumbs up. 9-1. Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, we need to tag with the pawn, of course. We don't want to exchange our queens. We want to attack and destroy black, right? Amazing. So he played queen e7. Again, this is the moment where you should decide what you would do. And I will give a hint. They have a weakness on f7, but they have a weakness on h7 too. How we should like continue? How would you like play with white to attack that squares?
So queen e7 was just played, and now what? G6 says Tanya. Rook f2 says Tanisha. Rook f3 says Tara. And rook f3 also says Hannah.
Amazing,
got a
I
rook-
love it.
Yep.
Yep, I played rook f3. It's better than rook f2 because after queen h4, I'm threatening rook h3 too. But if I put my rook on f2, then I cannot have that move. That's why rook f3 is better. I want to play rook e f1, but I want to play queen h4 too. So black played e5. But now the position is different. I can let him to play e5 because I already have 2 weaknesses. Until he closed my bishop, I already got 2 weaknesses. So e5 is totally fine. We can just go back, and we are protecting our g5 pawn, and we are kind of not letting him to play h6 or f6 because after that move we will have like extra protection with the bishop. He played rook f8. He's trying to protect his pawn on f7. I played queen h4 because rook e f1 is not with Stampina, but I just wanna like checkmate him. So I'm telling him that you have real problems and you should try to solve them. Otherwise, I'm gonna checkmate you. That's how you guys should try to play. You need to put as much like as many problems as you can. Maybe according to engine, it's equal. It can say that it's totally like equal position. You don't have anything, but we are humans. We make mistakes. We just have to try to put as many problems as it's possible for our opponents. They should feel uncomfortable. If they feel uncomfortable and they start to play, like they start to think a lot. And when you think a lot, you get tired. When you get tired, you make mistakes. So he played queen e6. The idea is after rook h3, he wants to play queen g6. I played rook e f1 because now kind of like I'm attacking on h7, I'm attacking on f7 too. King g8 was played this flag. I played knight e2. I'm bringing my another knight. Maybe I had to ask a question, but I feel like you guys are already overwhelmed with my questions. So I will just show you. If you have any questions or if you want to ask about any move, just like let me know. Rook c8. He's just he understands that he cannot really do anything on the king's side, so he's trying to develop his piece because rook was staying there like entire game. Of course, it's obvious move. We are bringing the knight, and g6 was played.
Now I have a
Here.
poll for this.
Amazing. I have a question too. So I think we have the same question.
The question is, what should white do? What was your question, Begim?
Yeah, what would you play?
We'll give you guys a minute for this, a minute and 15 seconds, I guess. So you have another minute. So you don't have to answer right away. We can't tell what you answered, so don't feel shy. You can only tell if you tell us or if you unmute yourself.
I mean, if even you're wrong, you shouldn't be like upset about that because it's the process. And the most important thing is to have your opinion and to say that.
All right. We have some people who want to unmute. So let me see. Sarah, you wanted to say your answer. Tell us what you would do and why.
So I would play rook to f6 because it's attacking the queen, and if the knight takes on f6, then I can take back with my pawn on g5, and I'm threatening to play queen to h6, threatening checkmate.
So rook to f6 is Sarah's choice. And actually, I think at the moment, that is a very popular answer in the poll. Yeah. So I guess it looks like, honestly, it looks like a pretty compelling answer as well.
I mean, it does make a lot of sense to play, but the trick is we are playing chess, not checkers. If it was like checkers, then they would be forced to take on f6, right? But here, if I play rook f6, like I'm not forced to attack. But what if I just go queen e7? Like you still have the problem to solve. What would you do, right? And after rook f6, I don't have rook h3 anymore in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at that point, I could play knight to f5 after rook to f6, queen to e7, and I could play knight to f5 and threaten the queen and checkmate.
You're still good.
Queen there.
You're still good there. But I played knight f5 immediately.
Yeah, I like knight f5 too. So good job, everybody. But I think you're right, Sarah. I think that's probably winning as well. This one might be even more direct because the rook still can come, but we'll see how it went.
If the position is that like very tricky, if after knight f5, if I take it, you're not taking it with the tempo that you had when queen was on e6. When queen was on e6, I was kind of like attacking the queen, and I could just play rook h3 and like threatening checkmate. Here, rook is staying very good. I cannot take it, but it's not working. It's not really working. And I thought it's more powerful to have the rook on h3. I have more threats. I'm literally like I want to checkmate in one move, and it's hard to protect from that. That's why I think that knight f5 was stronger. But that position is still winning because the position is very good.
Yeah.
It looks good.
So knight f5 was what you played. So good job to everybody who played that as well. And then after knight f5, what happened next?
Of course, we take with the pawn, queen d5. And the idea of queen d5 is that he's not allowing me to play rook h3, because if I play rook h3 here, they will just checkmate me.
Bang.
That's why I played queen h6. I want to play f6, and then I want to checkmate him, queen g7. And king h8 was played. So I played f6 still. I just want to checkmate him. Rook g8, only move. How would you continue the game? Or how would you end the game?
I think we have one for this too, although I think some people are going to get in the chat fast.
Amazing.
Let's see though. Yeah, they're doing great. Good job, everyone.
Whoever said rook h3, please take that back. Think again.
You can't take them back, I don't think. That's okay. We don't know who you are, so it's all good.
good.
It's all good. Everybody makes mistakes, but rook h3 does allow queen takes g2.
I just wanted to give them another chance.
Aw, thank you. Okay, here we go. Somebody want to unmute themselves and say what they did?
Okay, amazing.
Shreya?
Yeah, so I was thinking to play queen takes h7 check, then king takes, then rook h3 mate. Oh wait, sorry, rook h3, then there's king g6.
Yeah, it's rook mated.
And then there's rook h6 mate.
Amazing, perfect. Yeah, whoever said queen h7, they're totally right, because it's the only move, and then I'm giving a check.
Great job. Great job to everyone who got that right. And what a game.
Rook h8, it's the checkmate.
What a final
this is the game
checkmate.
over. After queen h7, he resigned, but I wanted to make some like points here. We just prepared the attack. We played slowly. There was nothing like direct, nothing like impulse, like as e5 or f5. What we did was just to improve our pieces. We improved it. We chose which side we would pick to play, like queens or kings. We chose, okay, kings like make a lot of sense. We chose that. We improved our pieces, like rook a e1, and then knight d2, knight f3, knight g5. We were on time, and then after that we start to improve our rooks, and then we improved our last piece that wasn't playing. It was knight on f and knight on c3. We just improved all the pieces. We put them to the right spot, and then like we got the winning position. Like made mistakes, but if you think like without any engine, you cannot really see what they did wrong. They were a little bit passive after the opening, but it was like totally playable position. They made just one mistake, which was, I believe, knight d7. They had to play knight rook f8 or rook c8, try to improve their pieces too. So this small mistake already led them to the losing position. That's how you can actually prepare the attack, and just you can sacrifice to finish the game. That's also a possibility, and I really wanted to show that it's very important to improve all of your pieces. Whatever you do, it's your choice, but improve your pieces and make sure that all of them are working.
Yay, wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. What a great game, says Sonia. We have time for a couple questions. Anybody want to raise their hand and unmute? Zara, did you want to ask yours? Go.
Yes. My question is, how did you overcome frustration when you were like a beginner chess player, and how did you improve?
Okay. I was very young when I was a beginner, actually. I was like 6-7 years old, but I can understand what are you talking about, like frustration when just you work and you feel like it's a lot. Sometimes it's overwhelming. You just want to go and hang out with your friends. And sometimes you just work hard and it won't go the way you want to go, you want to have during the game. The important thing to have is patience. You just have to be patient with yourself, with chess, with your education, with everything. And you should have enough motivation and confidence that you will get through that, and you will be a very good chess player. You should believe in your work, because at some point, all of your work will they show up. When you play a tournament, you can see it will be easier to play for you, and you will see deeper, and you can improve your understanding. It's a lot of work, and it won't be easy, and you cannot see the results sometimes in just one tournament. So it's a long process. Trust the process, believe in yourself, and everything's gonna be right, as long as you do the job.
Love it. Thank you. And everybody's saying how great this game was. Zara, Tara, Begim, I loved how you finished it off. It was very beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
And we also have a question. Yeah, Violet says, great answer. I love it. Kaylin, I think we'll take one more question from Kaylin. What do you recommend for improving your visualization?
Like in chess, right?
Yeah.
Have to see better. I would recommend you to solve a lot of puzzles, a lot of them, like, and you need to play and solve as well blindly. It would help you a lot to improve. Like you can imagine better.
And I think Violet's question was a little similar to the one before as well. But Violet asked if you ever thought about quitting chess.
I never did. Like I got frustrated, all the things, but I never did because I love to play chess. I stopped training at some point, but like it was kind of like to take some space from chess because of my results. Sometimes you just work and you don't have any results. So I just wanted to stop training for a while, but I never thought about quitting chess. I love playing chess and I think I'm gonna play whole my life.
Oh, that's beautiful to hear. Wow. Well, I have one more question for you and we'll wrap up. From me,
Okay.
What was the most memorable part of Judith Polgar coming to visit Tashkent and teacher school?
Can I say like personal experience? Like,
Yeah.
no, for many people it was just to see her, to play with her. Not everyone got the chance, unfortunately. A lot of people wanted to play with her, but we had like limited boards. So but personally I spent some time with her and just talked about chess, about life, about like how she achieved it. And I was very lucky to learn about her as just a person, you know. And I was like, wow, I didn't expect her to be that nice. And like, she's just a genius and she's my role model. She has done a lot of like promotion and like empowerment for women and girls, and we talked about that as well. And her ideas are amazing and her energy is amazing. So I loved that.
Well, we loved your presentation too, as you're motivating a lot of people. We're going to be rooting you on in the US Chess Championship next month, and maybe we'll have to have you come back to talk about one of your games from that.
For sure. I'm always happy to be here. Thank you guys a lot for having me.
It was awesome. What a great game. Thank you everybody for watching and coming, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Ganjam.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you for the chess base help, Liliana.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming, Tanya and Sonia, Victoria.